how beautiful is the orchestration of the dark forces which are running this world. Bought demonetization, they bought digitization, they bought Aadhaar card, they bought all these things, then they bought COVID. Do you ever think you can conquer a woman? Ever? There is a place where sex and spirituality meet, which people do not understand. Basically, you put all this to the side, and if you go to a girl and simply tell her, you know what, today, humanity, everyone is lost. They're all trying to find their ways. Unfortunately, most people are trying to find their ways with a purely capitalistic aim that if I do this, I can talk about this to people and it'll enhance my value. Very few people are genuinely living by submitting themselves to life. Your spirit has been trying to tell you that. You started having paid sex. That is also the feeling later is trying to tell you that. The masturbation, the PUA, everything is telling you that you are not on the path which is yours organically, which is supposed to be just your story. And that is why last minute, mother life will get into the woman and reject you at a moment when it will hurt you the most. When she's naked in front of you, you can her and then she will reject you. Sex is a really beautiful thing. But to lose your virginity with a plan and with manipulation and with conniving and this and that, it will never lead you to have an actual experience of sex. Never ever. There is a place where sex and spirituality meet, which people do not understand. The reason why you are not able to do either is because for you they exist in separate realms. How much money you must have spent on PUA, all right? How much time you must have spent on PUA, and consider every time cost, all right? From the learning to the going to the faking, like include like I mean it, the cost of faking, not being yourself. You incur all these costs. How many times did you actually get a woman to sleep with you voluntarily in a beautiful manner and have a fulfilling experience? Because that is literally what you want, the company of a woman. Do you ever think you can conquer a woman? Ever? True conquering happens by letting yourself go and submitting your own power. And that is the highest sign of power, that you're willing to let your power go. That motherfucker can never be touched. And whether you're a man or a woman, the world will want to get unified into you if you're that powerful that you're willing to relinquish your own power. Why? Because when you become true to life, life will provide everything for you to manifest that truth. My words, even though I have died and been born multiple times again, I live those words even today and they are even more true today. In Vipassana, I realize that all of us are going to die. All right? हम सब तो मरने वाले हैं. So, even if that's an intellectual realization, shouldn't that be one of the biggest reasons for you to actually just be nakedly truthful to yourself? Life already spoke to you once. You didn't pay attention. You didn't retain it, just like your sperm. You will always want to ascend towards a higher state of being. You will always want to ascend towards a higher frequency of being. That is why all of life on earth grows towards the sun. I had spoken that from 2024 onwards, a lot of people will be brought to justice and there will be judgment. That is why you saw Delhi's biggest minister go to jail, politicians being shot point blank and killed on the spot. More will happen. So the thing with the world of lies is that it falls like a pack of cards. That's how Instagram will fall. That's how all the women over there will fall who are doing what they're doing. That's how all the men who are using the wrong ways to get women, they will fall, etc., etc., etc. Education can be hacked, CVs can be hacked. The human being and who they are cannot be hacked. That is why again in the world of consulting there is something called the airport test. You yourself said at that time I did not know tricks. See, now the more tricks you know, the more you're struggling in life. I've written a poem on this. I do not ejaculate to ask her for a review. How was the taste? Did you like the view? The way I ejaculate, we need to start becoming aware and alert to what the internet makes popular and trendy, at what time, and how. Technology is the weapon of implementation for every geopolitical agenda. Very nicely, you can see women were being turned against men with the advent of feminism, etc., etc., etc. Men started suffering because of that. More rejection, more pain, more divorces, more this, more that. Men weren't anti women. Now the time is ripe. Men have suffered enough. There is a lot of emotional cost and damage. Let's capitalize on that. Let's give rise to a masculine demon and make that popular so that the young and impressionable minds now are against women. And here you have a clash again of male versus female of a different generation, leading to complete distrust, lack of any fucking faith in relating with the opposite sex, or belief that they can be a good human being, whether men for women or women for men. How beautiful is the orchestration of the dark forces which are running this world. Take India as an example. I'm not talking about governments and stuff, because as I told you, many of them are puppets. They bought demonetization, they bought digitization, they bought Aadhaar card, they bought all these things, then they bought COVID.